Wow, this is very white. Okay, last time you saw me, I was getting blasted in the face by God's right hand. That sounded way better in my head. Anyway, after I was shot with 300 million volts through my cranium, I woke up here in heaven. I assume I'm dead, but I highly doubt it. I'm probably here because heaven thought I was doing God's work by torturing saving those imps from starvation in horrible fashion, yeah. Which is why the heavens decided to bring me here to salvation. And oh boy, are they in for a rude awakening. Because in all technicality, I'm not supposed to be here. Shoot, I'm not even allowed back in hell. Why do you think I belong here is beyond me. But anywho, on today's criteria, I'll be redesigning some of the angels from Hazbin Hotel. Now, if you don't know what Hazbin Hotel is, yes you do. Yes you do. Unless you live underneath a rock where children of all ages can't get to you, and I mean all ages, then most likely you have seen a trailer at most. So, with my very kind explanation of the series out the way, let us begin. Now look, before I do my thing, I think I said this previously, but I like the canon designs of most of the angels in Hazbin Hotel. I just really like the thought of angels being way more visually horrifying than the demons. Cause nothing scares me more than a mofo saying, "Don't fear me," than a floating 30-foot eyeball with rings of fire surrounding them than a biblical accurate angel. For a better example, Ramel from Evigini. This anime. So, angels have a hierarchy just like demons do in hell. In Vizipop's world, she does show bits of this statement throughout her episodes surrounding the topics of heaven, or when she's showing off her 100th unnecessary side character in a single episode. Either way, there's a power scaling thing going on and I want to expand on that, which is by making the angels seem more chaotic in their designs. There are 4 characters I'm redesigning in today's video. Each one is a different race of angel. With each race, I'll do my best to try and complement their designs and abstract them from one another in some form or way. The first angel in today's roster is the little purple lamb guy from the Three Stooges that we saw fist fighting the imps, is Colin. Now, okay, I know I said I'll be doing Hazbin Hotel, but I can't ignore these guys. I specifically can't ignore him because I find him to be adorable. I also couldn't ignore them because I tried finding a cherub in Hazbin Hotel, but I couldn't because there is no such thing as that just yet. They could be in season 2, but I don't know. And guess what? Since season 2 is not here, I'll be using him instead. C'est la vie. So back to Colin. Colin is one of the 3 cherubs shown throughout Holo Balls fighting against the imps. They ended up failing epically by accidentally offing one of the souls that they tried to send to heaven, which is a billionaire. Womp womp. So they were cast out of heaven until they proved themselves worthy again. Not gonna lie, I thought that was a little bit harsh because the soul they tried to save wasn't worth saving at all, and they end up getting kicked out of heaven just because of that one accident. Ridiculous. But anyway, I'm not surprised that heaven did that anyway. Anywho, due to him being cast out of heaven, this little guy had to deal with the craziness of his workmates going insane due to not being able to take revenge like they wanted to on the imps. And they even went to extreme measures and started working with these 2 characters that we've seen time and time again throughout the series to try to fulfill that deed. And they failed again. Not really surprising. But after that, I kind of don't know. Somebody tell me in the comment section below. Now that you know a little bit about him and how cherubs are, let's actually talk about his redesign finally. Now, his overall canon design is already really cute, but I need him to be cuter, you feel me? So bear with me when I say this, but I removed his clothes because I really wanted them to fit more into a Christian imagery of cherubs. You know, the whole naked baby thing. So, you see, these type of biblical creatures are almost always naked. And I'm not about to draw a naked baby, but since he's a sheep, I can make that happen without it being weird. Since I decided to go down that route, I gave him extra fluff to fill out his body a little bit more, give him a more rounded body shape to help fit the cherub stereotype more. Gave him an extra set of wings on both sides of his head, you will be seeing a lot of this, and gave his butt a harp to really get him into the holier look of things, if you feel me. Then finally, I started coloring him, and I made his colors a little bit more unsaturated to enhance his glowing effect I'll give him soon after. And for finishing touches, I gave him little details, and then he's done. Also, I drew the other 2 because why not, you know? Get in there! The second holy character I choose today to be my friend, is Adam. So, you know how I said that I liked majority of the angels, or I liked all angels? I lied. Adam is definitely one of the worst angels I've ever seen. And I can't physically, mentally, emotionally understand why he's in heaven. To cut to the chase, nothing about him screams, I belong in heaven, other than his ugly ass white dress. That, of course, has an A on it. Like, I do like that one. It shows how narcissistic he is, so good effort. But other than that, he's just some random dude in punk attire that's trying to look like an angel, but in reality, he kind of comes off as a demon cosplaying as an angel. And I really don't like that. But anyway, I was trying to capture her design with Adam, and it was pure torture. So this is where I decided to change him entirely, like I stated before. First, I researched what type of angels actually fight against demons head on in biblical lore. Turns out all of them sort of do. Not really, but they do. It's weird. It's weird. But specifically, Powers, which are a higher class of angels, does exactly what VisiPop made up with The Exorcist. She could have just made Adam a power, to be honest, but whatever. So I decided to just turn him into that. He was technically an archangel before, but in my lore, he's going to be a power because it fits him. So to start off this redesign for Adam, officially now, I basically took all of his clothing and just threw them in the trash. There's no need for them. Be gone, demon, burned with holy fire. I did keep his human design because his human design was actually really cool. I do actually like his human. Well, more like I liked him without his clothing on. That didn't sound right at all. Whatever. Basically, this is just me giving him better clothing. Nothing really changes other than that. So I got rid of his mask, but I did replace it with a helmet. Now, I kind of merged the helmet with a crown because I really wanted to add spikes to him. Again, he still is Adam. He is a punk. It's Adam. He's a punk rock star band. Whatever his persona is, I could not care less. I still wanted to give, a sense of, he's rebelling against the big guy or something like that. So I put spikes among the crown area of his helmet to cover up the lack of spikes he'll have on his body. Next, I also gave him chainmail from head to his loin area. Like, you know how the guys back in the medieval ages would wear like chainmail like shirts and stuff like that. Well, more like chainmail hoodies, if you get me. So yeah, that's underneath all his robes. Now, with his robes, I did add more layers to it than previously. Instead of just this one big moo-moo looking dress. I hate that. I hated that the most. Replaced his humongous moo-moo dress with actual clothing that, again, would count as a dress, but not really, if you feel me. Then I also added in a sweater of some sorts. It's actually called a shawl. I do not care for the English language. I do apologize, but I am not correcting my language right now. I do not care. I just added some type of fabric that covers his upper body and his torso. Then, of course, I could not forget his A. So I added a sneaky little link of cloth between his legs and put his A there. You can't forget the most narcissistic part about him, his infamous A. I also added wings on each side of his head to kind of bring in all the characters together to make sure that they're all from the same type of creatures and whatnot. That's just a thing. I'll explain that. Hopefully I'll remember to explain that later on in the video. Next, I do his coloring. Now, with his coloring, I basically copied and paste, but I do add some few more colors here and there. So, I made his chainmail a darker gray, and I made his helmet a similar color, but I kind of unsaturated a little bit to separate the two type of metals. Except for his the spike areas on top of his crown / helmet crown. I don't know. I basically made those like gold pieces. And I kind of did that among the spikes that adored his crown. His main rope colors, however, is going to be gold and white, yet the rest of the fabrics on top of it is made up of golds, greens, and blues. Just a little bit more color, a little more spice. The little fork fabric around his waist is green with gold trimmings, and then around the bottom of his skirt, dress, whatever you want to call it, it also has gold trimmings too. Now, for his wings, I did absolutely nothing with them. I basically copied and pasted them on new Adam's design. Like, there was nothing wrong with them. I kept them the same. Then I added a few bit of touches here and there for the final piece, and there you have it. Adam, get in that bag.
I think they're on to me.
Emily is up next, and I got to admit, she has a very well thought out character design. Nice, pretty nice. For a lower angel. You see, her design is nice, yet nothing about her tells me she should be one of the highest, the most powerfulest, and the largest OG in heaven at all. She does give off nobility as well as a higher status, of course, so she's totally not like some regular angel that's walking about. But to be a seraphim? I don't know about that. Another thing that upsets me a bit is that while she's a seraphim, she's very childish for one. Like, I understand she's younger, but how much younger, hun? How much? And with the whole stunt she pulled with Little Miss Bammy through that little god-awful musical, I did not like that song at all. I'm sorry. I know I'm being a hater right now, but all the other ones were nice. This one sucked. Anyway, she also appears to be really naive about the whole reason why heaven works the way it does throughout the entire damn season, which makes no sense if she's a literal angel that actually gets to talk to the big man himself. Like, huh? Like, how clueless can she be? She is seraphim. She can't be this clueless. Like, she physically cannot be this clueless because it makes no sense. And I just don't understand it at all. Like, it feels like as she was just dropped into the position of a seraphim instead of actually being one. You get what I'm saying? But no worries, because this is why I'm redesigning her to a lower angel. Of virtue, specifically. She seems like she's only just been introduced into the highest circle of angels, and the only thing she knew beforehand was how to love and care for humans and other living creatures, than actually knowing how to punish said creatures if they do some horrible sins. Which is why she acted out when Charlie was trying to say her case. Because she most likely didn't know what the hell was going on. Like, this isn't... Okay, so before I continue, this is not a hate speech about Emily. I really like her. She's really cute and bubbly, yet I can't ignore the dumb things that she said while she was on screen. It made her look very unfit for the title of Seraphim. There's also me being slightly biased because I personally think there should be only one Seraphim at a time. So with that out of the way, I didn't take much from her original design. I first wrapped up and covered her hair with a wimple. That's a head covering for a nun. To make her seem more modest, basically because I thought that a lot of the characters that are in heaven are a little bit too unmodest, if you feel me. Like, it's heaven, holy prayers, prudes. You get what I'm saying. And I added a set of fluffy wings to both sides of their head. Don't look at me. I like adding wings to the angel's head. Now, there is a reason for this. I don't know why, but to me, it works in solidifying how angels, or at least from the angels that I'm making right now, all come from the same type of creature, concept, or thing. It just helps me understand these people are all from the same species, and it helped me actually generate an idea of how these already existing characters should look like and how they should, comparatively have similar features. Next, I added a neck collar that draped across her shoulders and down to her chest. And with that, I added feathers to her neck too to enhance the type of angel she is. I left her sleeves a little bit puffy, but I made her sleeves quite longer and drapey. I gave her a cross for good measure, just extra holy crap. Next, I flattened her dress a bit. I didn't really like how poofy it was. I thought it was a little bit too Disney princess, if you feel me. Just a little too much, a little bit too much. And of course, I gave her more layers. Replaced one set of her back wings and settled with giving her only two. And finally, I shifted her color tone into a slightly more, I wouldn't say warmer, but more of a grayish blue. Well, I mean, she already has she's a little bit on the gray side. So I gave her a little bit more of a blue tint, if that makes sense. Added a few more things because I'm obsessed with trinkets on character sue me. Then finally, I gave her the signature angelic glow, leaving her pretty much finished. And that's Emily, guys. Get into the berg! Oh no. I think they know. I got to get this other one done before I can escape. Yeah! And last and not least is Sarah. Sarah is actually one of my favorite characters throughout the show, believe it or not. Even with the horrible writing the show has given to all of its characters, she was still the smartest person. Well, I don't know, but to me, she was. She was the smartest person in the series, other than Keith Davis and David. Davison or David? Doesn't matter. Keith David, I think, as Husk. Now, of course, the main big problem in her character is that she didn't know how people got into heaven. That's not her fault, it's the writer's fault. She still had every reason to not allow people like the creatures in Hell's Happy Hotel not to come to heaven. Like, look at them. So Sarah is a leader of the whole shebang in heaven. I think so. She most likely makes sure everything is running smoothly and is trying to get her sister Emily up to par. To be the next seraphim, I think so. When she herself steps down or something. This is only a headcanon, y'all. I'm making this up as I go, bro. So Sarah is a seraphim. Seraphims are often depicted to be floating eyes with too many wings and surrounded by way too many damn eyeballs. Like, how many do you need? Their role in heaven is to be God's spokesman. In other words, God's mouth. These angels are the strongest in the biblical hierarchy. Often not, these types of angels communicate telepathically. Nice. So, observing Sarah's overall design, again, just like Emily, her sister, her design is very pretty, but just way too human and way too slutty for me. So I doubled her modesty level and, like her sister, covered up her hair and her body a bit more. The Taliban would be proud. With her humicious form, I made her more imposing without stripping her original elegancy in the process. With her face, I placed 2 medium-sized wings over her eyes, around her upper neck, and 2 more on top of her head. I also came back to add a flame to replace the halo she had. This is because in real lore, I think seraphims are the ones who are called the burning ones. It could be the thrones, but I'm not certain. They usually have, instead of halos or like this beautiful glowing golden glow, they're literally on fire. How nice is that? So, like I said before, I added her a flame to contribute to that statement. Now, with her body, I turned her outfit into an assortment of wings, feathers, and clothes. With this, I made her wings cover her like a coat or a sweater, only to slightly reveal a dress underneath. Like most things on her body, I made it flowy and almost feathery-like near the bottom of her outfit. This is to create an illusion that she slightly floats everywhere she goes. And like I did for majority of the guys that I redesigned, I didn't change her colors too much, and I just added more accessories that I didn't think before finalizing her. And there you have it, Sarah. Get in the bag! Whew, holy hell, she almost didn't fit. But yeah, anyway, that's about it. I don't really have much to say other than please comment, subscribe, like, or share. It doesn't matter. Any type of support that you do will help me out in the future. Oh, and if you watched all the way, comment Hellfire in the comments below. Thank you, and have a...
This is the police. Put your hands up.
You'll never catch me alive, buckaroo.
Well, poop.